Welcome to One Sober to Another. I'm Wayne, and I just wanted to say thank you all for being here with me today. Today's daily reflection is a very enlightening one, and it reminds me that I am not in control of a whole lot of crap, but I am in control of how I feel about it, and I am in control over what I do about it, and I'm also in control over drinking over it. And if you're an addict in your case, using over it. Before I go all up in it, let me tell you this. AK Free Your Ghost, you are awesome, lady. She got a mask that I sent her, One Sober to Another face mask. And if you want to get your hands on one, just shoot me a DM. I have about 6 left. I'll be happy to hook you up. For those who do interviews with me or stories, like I have one coming up on Zoom. I'm going to record that on the 6th, and I'll publish that probably later on in the same day. Without further ado, folks, today's daily reflection to get your Sunday rolling on: Powerless. Let's go. January 3rd, people. Here we go. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 20. It is no coincidence that the very first step mentions powerlessness. An admission of personal powerlessness over alcohol is a cornerstone and foundation of recovery. I've learned that I do not have the power and control I once thought I had. I am powerless over what people think about me, and I am powerless if I miss the bus. I am powerless over how other people work or don't work the steps. But I've also learned I am not powerless over some things. I am not powerless over my own attitudes. I am not powerless over negativity. I am not powerless over assuming responsibility for my own recovery. I have the power to exert a positive influence on myself, my loved ones, and the world in which I live. Wow, that's a lot of power, and that's a lot of powerlessness. One sober to another, guys. Here we are. We're in January, right? Some folks have experienced already some setbacks as far as their sobriety and as far as their recovery. We are powerless over changing the past. I am powerless over a whole lot of things, especially whether you like this channel or you don't like this channel, or you like what I put out or you don't agree with it. I'm also powerless over your recovery. I can't make you do things. I can't make you want to be sober like I am. I can't make you want to live and thrive in sobriety. Only you can make that conscious decision. You have the power to change your attitude towards alcohol and the way you feel about drugs and the way you feel about drugs and alcohol as a whole entirety and how it affects your life. There's a whole lot of good things inside of today's daily reflection, and it's actually quite short. That's why in this little teeny book, like I say all the time, everything here is applicable in your life, whether you're an alcoholic, an addict, or not. If you think about it, even if you suffer from just anger in general and you have a problem with anger management, if you admit that you have a problem with the way that you respond to certain things and that your first response and go-to emotion is anger, then you have the option and the power to deal with that, and you have the ability to change it. You are powerless, and I am powerless over what someone says to you. But as I continue to work in customer service right now going into 2021, I don't have the power to change the way someone comes into the store and their attitude towards me. But I do have the power of how I respond to their attitude. And depending on what I choose to do or how I choose to feel about it is the outcome of that whole interaction. And that's the same process that I use with alcohol and how I feel about it. Now, my wife drinks, but I can't make her stop drinking, and I can't make her choose recovery, because I'm not the one to say that she's an alcoholic or not, or whatever. And she's what I would call a normie drinker. She's a normal drinker, and she's a normal socializer and everything else, and she has the ability to put that glass down. I don't have that ability. If I get one drink, folks, like I tell you all the time, I want the last one as well. And who knows when that last one is coming. It could be days, it could be months, it could be years. For this one right here, folks, you know, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives have become unmanageable. I spoke about that quite a bit in the recent dates, and as well as I even spoke about it during my live stream, in which, for those who got on One Sober to Another and you viewed the live stream, thank you. To all the folks subscribed to One Sober to Another, thank you. And if you haven't checked out the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe now, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything like this. Wow, that sounds like I've seen that somewhere. Oh, I did. But I do have the ability to the way that I deliver it, and I do have the power to change it. Now, where does that go? That goes to, I know I'm powerless over alcohol, but it took a lot for me to get there, and a lot for me to decide that that's not the way that I wanted my life to go, and the outcomes that were happening when I drank, they weren't what I really wanted it to be anymore. Alcohol wasn't solving those fears and anxieties and the guilt and the shame. It was bringing more. So I had to admit how unmanageable my life had really gotten, and then make the changes from there. I had to admit, which nobody wants to do, that I was powerless over alcohol. Who the hell wants to admit that they don't have power and that they can't control either their using or drinking, or they can't control their gambling or whatever? And what, am I weak? Is that what that means? For a lot of folks, that is what that means. Kind of like when I was growing up, if you cry, Dad said you were a beep, because men don't cry. Now, I don't know how that applies in your life or how you just receive that, but I will say, you know, I've learned that I'm not powerless over some things, and I've learned that, you know, if I just change the way I feel about it and the way I respond, because I can be angry, but I can choose how to harness that anger, and I could choose how to put out what actually is going on internally without damaging anything else. I didn't have that ability when I was drinking. I just ran rampant and just crushed everything. My life was a freaking train wreck, and I truly thought that I was busted, and that I had no power to come back, and I had no will to come back, and that saying I'm powerless meant I was surrendering, and that, you know, I was defeated. But the truth is, I was defeated, folks. And if you're out there and you're suffering right now, and you're looking in the mirror and you're saying, why can't I stop this that I'm doing? Why can't I put the bottle down? Why can't I put the needle away? You may be powerless over your drink or drug, but I can't decide that, folks. You have to be willing to admit it. And if you've gotten any value out of today's video, give a thumbs up so this video goes out further and reaches more people on YouTube. Because believe it or not, folks, this is the hot medium because of, you know, the global pandemic and everything else. Folks are out of work. Folks are bored. Folks are depressed. Folks are suffering from anxiety and panic attacks, and they don't know where to turn. And I welcome you to join me here on One Sober to Another, and I'll keep trying to put out good stuff for you so that you are able to thrive in your life and to have quality of life, folks. I'm an open book, so if you have questions and you feel like I haven't told you what you want to hear, drop your comment below so that I can address that and put on this channel what you are looking for and what you might need in your life to maybe give you a little motivation, a little positivity. And if you have enjoyed this, once again, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I don't beg, let me rephrase that. I don't count subscribers, all right? I do acknowledge them. I don't count them because this channel is not about that. Does it need it to stay in motion? Nope. Why? Because I'm not worried about money. So even if I never reach a monetization, I don't care. I'm here for you folks, and I want you to know that personally. And veterans with anxiety, Daniel, hit me up, man. I already scheduled something with Evan, and I can also schedule something with you, and we can get these very, very necessary messages out to addicts in recovery. And I appreciate the help. Matter of fact, for those who don't know, I'm gonna merge a couple videos dealing with drug addiction, because I'm not a drug addict, and I'm not an addict in recovery. So I had to reach out to some folks who were grateful enough to do their stories for me and allow me to publish them here on One Sober to Another. That's coming in the near future, folks. Life's a garden, dig it. Guess what? I'm gonna see you in the next one. Have a great day.